Good evening. This is the Post-Market Recap by AGI Era. Today is Monday, January 12th, 2026, and it is shortly after 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time. The closing bell has rung, and we have a lot to unpack from today's session. The scoreboard and technicals. The U.S. session has officially wrapped, and the price action suggests a market grappling for direction with a slight upward bias. The S&P 500 finished the day up 0.16%, settling at 6977.27. Technically, the index is now trading just shy of the significant psychological 7,000 level, indicating a cautious approach by investors as it consolidates recent gains. The Nasdaq 100 also edged higher, closing 0.8% higher at 25,787.664. The Dow Jones Industrial Average finished up by 86.113 points, closing at 49592.2. Crucially, trading volume today for the S&P 500 was approximately 2.23 billion shares. While not exceptionally heavy, it was around average, which implies that today's modest gains lack the strong conviction of institutional buying, suggesting a more rotational or indecisive trading day rather than a clear directional push. Market breadth and sentiment. Under the surface, the fear gauge, or VIX, data was not available today. However, the overall market action suggests a controlled environment rather than widespread panic. We are seeing a clear divergence in sector performance, particularly within the market's leadership. While the Technology Select Sector SPDR Fund, XLK, saw a modest gain of 0.44%, the real story lies in the individual components. This indicates that Wall Street is being highly selective, favoring specific narratives over broad sector plays, the macro engine. The primary driver of today's moves can be traced back to the currency markets, as data for the 10-year Treasury yield was not available. The U.S. dollar index is down 0.22%, settling at 98.67 on the day. This move is significant because the dollar's weakness, reportedly due to political pressure on the Fed chair, could offer some relief to multinational corporations whose overseas earnings are boosted when converted back to a weaker dollar. It also tends to be supportive of commodity prices. Meanwhile, crude oil is trading around 59.63, UP 0.86%, likely finding support from the weaker dollar, making oil cheaper for holders of other currencies, thereby stimulating demand. The AI and Tech Monitor. Turning to the leaders of this market, artificial intelligence and big tech. Nvidia finished the day up 0.03% at 184.912, showing a pause after recent volatility. Microsoft closed down 0.44%, while Apple edged higher by 0.34%. Alphabet Google was a notable gainer, closing up 1.0% at 331.86. Amazon finished slightly down 0.37%. However, Meta stood out on the downside, closing down 1.7% at 641.97. Tesla finished up 0.89%. The divergence within this group is notable. While Google showed strength, Meta's significant drop suggests investors are scrutinizing valuations and future growth prospects more closely, even within the high-flying tech sector. This indicates a shift from broad-based enthusiasm to a more discerning approach, where individual company fundamentals and specific catalysts are paramount. After hours and look ahead. Looking at the after hours tape right now, shares of Signing Day Sports Inc. SGN are moving significantly, currently up over 2.46%. This highlights the continued activity in smaller cap names outside of regular trading hours. As we pivot to tomorrow, investors should continue to monitor any further developments regarding the U.S. dollar and bond market sentiment, as these macro factors remain critical in shaping market direction. We also anticipate continued focus on corporate earnings reports and any forward-looking guidance that could provide clarity on the economic outlook. That is your comprehensive closing update. We will see you tomorrow morning for the overnight brief. Disclaimer: this podcast is not financial advice. Data may be delayed. Always conduct your own due diligence.